Okay, so voiceover. This part, we'll see how long it goes, but there are quite a few steps involved. I guess the first thing you need to know is how to record your voice. What kind of microphone environment you want, what kind of how it's set up. So for the first thing is obviously I'm using um, a low quality mic. You can tell from the quality of this audio that it's not the best. It's just a microphone I have set up to my computer with my headset, and it's good enough for this video. Uh, to record video for the videos I make, I bought a microphone called the Insta Mic. INSTAMIC. Let's see if we can look it up real quick, actually. It's been pretty handy. I liked it because, yeah, here we go. This guy. So it's a very small mic. It records. It has a hard drive on the device. So when you start recording, it records it onto the microphone itself, and then you need to connect that microphone to your computer to pull the files off. And the reason I like this mic is it's very small. It's wireless. You control it as in you tell it to start recording, stop recording, etc. using your phone. They actually have an app for the Instamic that you put on your phone, and it's pretty handy. Now, this particular mic is not the most. We can go to their store, see what they have, but it's not the most affordable. Yeah, you can see here the Instamic Pro, which is I believe what I have. It's $150, so it's not cheap. It's a little pricey, but um, for for me, it's definitely paid off. Like I've liked it um, pretty quite well. It's really easy to handle because it's so small and wireless. So I think that's been the main feature for me. Um, but there is a lot of different mics, so do your research. Find a mic that works for you. If I'd say the much more common type of mic is one you can set up at your computer and you have a proper kind of setup to, make sure it's high quality recording. I just decided I didn't want to do that because my space isn't really uh, doesn't lend itself to good audio, as you can tell. So what I do is I take this little mic into like I have a walk-in closet. So I go in there. It's nice and soundproofed, more or less, and that's where I do my voice recording. So yeah, so I use this thing. I record the VO. I read the script you saw earlier. Basically, that's all I'm doing is just reading off the script, um, and that's kind of it. So once I'm done with that, I end up with a raw wave file, which I bring into this program called Audacity. Audacity is a open source audio editing program. It's really nice and handy, and for my purposes, very basic kind of audio editing. It's really good. So the first thing I have to do is import that audio. Let's take a quick look. So here's that VO folder I mentioned earlier, where I kind of dump all my files. Let's see. We want this one right here. I named it brief history, ZX for the ZX video that I'm working on. Import's going to give you this warning. Just leave it on, make a copy, and that's fine. So there's my raw audio. Uh, but raw audio, at least with this particular mic, is very low. So it does have to go through a few different stages of editing. So yeah, once I've recorded, I have to remove the background noise. To do that, it's pretty simple in Audacity. Let's see here. It's just the first thing you have to do is create the noise profile. So you highlight the beginning part of an audio clip, which um, has a bit of noise, some staticky sound you'll notice when you're recording. So the first thing I have to do is go here, go to noise reduction, get noise profile, and that's it. Now it has a profile. Now I highlight the whole clip because you can see here this selection cursor or tool lets you click anywhere, but I'm going to click anywhere and then hit Control A to select the entire voice clip. Then I'm going to go to Effect, Noise, Repeat Noise Reduction. That repeats the last thing you did. So now I'm going to repeat noise reduction for the whole clip because now that I have the profile for it. All right, and that's it. Now I have to do compression. Let's see. I click on Effect, um, and I'm just reading off a guide I found online, honestly, but I found it pretty useful here. Oh, see, I didn't select any audio, so I have to make sure to Control A to select all of it. Then I go to Effect, Compressor. Here, the settings should be kind of what you see here. You can pause to take a good look if you need to, but these are the settings that have been working for me. It's, I believe, the default settings, more or less. So once I do that, I click OK, and then Audacity does its thing, and now the audio is compressed. And all this does really is it brings up your vocals if it's too quiet, which, like I mentioned earlier, my recordings from the mic are usually kind of quiet. So this helps a lot with that part. All right, now some bass and treble boost. I was going to say bass. I had to stop myself. Bass. All right. So now we're going to equalize. See here. So this really just helps boosting your voice. It makes it sharper and higher and clearer, especially for guys. We have these very deep voices, and this kind of amplifies the the radio DJ like quality. You know, just that kind of good radio voice. Not that I have one, but this helps to make it sound better anyway. All right, so go to Effect, Equalization. Here, select Bass Boost. Default is 9 dB. You can see here how it looks. I just leave it on default. Click OK. And then I go back to Equalization again, select Treble Boost down at the bottom here, and do the same thing. Click OK. Alrighty, then the limiter. So you'll notice when you record audio and it's too loud, it clips. It goes beyond the. I'm not a sound guy. I don't know the terms, but basically it clips because it's too loud, and you need to reduce that. So here you can go to Effect, Hard Limiter here toward the bottom of the. Oh, see, I chose the wrong one. Let's go to Effect, Limiter. There it is. So Effect, Limiter, and then here you can set Hard Limit. Limit to -3 dB. That's, I believe, the default. That's where I leave it. So I click OK. And now you can see the effect here in the visual. You can see that there were these lines that extended all the way to the top and bottom, and now they're limited to only go so far. So that'll help reduce or prevent that clipping effect in your audio. All right, now we're going to normalize. It just makes your voice louder. So, all right, the whole thing is selected. Go to Effect, Normalize, and the default looks okay, and there you go. So it just makes it a bit louder. And that's for the general processing to improve the voice quality. The next thing I do, here you can kind of zoom in. There's a zoom button here. Lets you kind of stretch out the audio, at least the visual part of it. And then this will help with editing each clip. So I've recorded a bunch of audio, and it's not going to sound uh, basically, there are a lot of repeated takes, right? If you're in the middle of a line and you mess up, you're not going to stop recording. You're just going to reset and repeat the line and read it again. And here, basically, are all my attempts. So let's listen to one and see what it sounds like.
While the C64 was all the rage in the USA, a different home computer was taking the UK by storm.
So I might adjust that later, but basically, now you can kind of see that's the first line, and that is complete. So because I'm happy with this take, I'm going to select it like I did there with the selection tool. I'm going to press Control B, and then this lets you apply labels to different sections of the audio. I'm going to apply a label here called brief hist underscore ZX01 because they're all just going to be numbered basically. So one through what have you. So yeah, this first take was good. I selected it. I applied the label. I'm going to move on to another one. Let's see what this sounds like.
Introduced in 1982, the popular ZX Spectrum introduced a color display and an affordable price.
That sounded pretty good as well. Here I'm going to break this up into a couple of clips. You don't have to, remember, you don't have to have it all combined. You can kind of break these things up into little chunks. I'm going to apply a label here. Brief. In fact, we don't even have to. You can select this text, Control C, go in here, Control V, and there you go. That's a lot easier. And then I'm going to save this one complete. I'm going to press Control B again, Control V to paste that audio, and then I'm going to rename that one. Yeah, it's good to remember those kinds of shortcuts because it just makes it a lot easier to work in these different programs. This one looks really short to me. It looks like it might have been a mistake. Let's listen to this one.
The ZX was discontinued by.
Yeah, see that sounds like I goofed right through the middle of it and I had to stop, which means this is probably the same line again, but um, but yeah, this is the general idea with editing. Once you've applied all your different effects to get the audio to sound as good as you want it to sound, um, once you have all these different labels applied here in Audacity, you can go to uh, File. You're going to export your files, and you have a bunch of different options here. But what you really want to do here is export multiple, and that's going to ask you for a folder in which to place them. You can see here I chose to place them in there. Format MP3, that works fine for me. There's a bunch of presets. I don't think I mess with any of these things. I leave them as they are. You want to make sure you split the file based on the labels. Each label you apply will get turned into its own little audio clip, basically. So you want to do that. And then you want to use the label name as the file name. That's good. And then here you can export, and it'll export the files to this location, and you'll have your final output of the MP3 files of the VO. And then once you get through the whole clip and capture all your little clips of the audio, you'll be done. Your VO will be ready to import into your video editing program. And I think that's it. We'll move on to the video editing next.